From the new Darling Stadium in Hampton, Virginia, WHCS presents Peninsula District Soccer, the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Bethel Bruins. Good evening, or good afternoon as the case may be, and welcome to Darling Stadium. I'm Tim Cole with Bob Hintz, and we are here for our first soccer game. That's right, we have expanded our horizons, Bob, and we are going to be watching a very good team in the Kecoughtan team, and unfortunately an injury-decimated Bethel team this afternoon.
Yeah, I had talked to Coach Ellenson from Bethel earlier, and he was kind of optimistic about his team. They played Hampton the other day. They were leading 3-0 and ended up losing 4-3 and losing 7 of his players. So that's going to be a detriment to him. He'll probably be on defense most of the time. Kecoughtan has always been one of the top soccer teams on the peninsula. You have the records that they have had over the years. They have just been phenomenal.
They are 4-0 so far this season. The Warriors are. They defeated Tab 2-0. They defeated York 1-0. They shut out Maury 4-0, and a similar score over the Western Branch team 4-0. So their goaltending and his name, Sean Harrington, he has been superb, and he has allowed no goals. He's had 24 saves and 32 shots against. We are underway. That's Kecoughtan with the ball. They are going to be in the green and white, of course. Bethel in the gold and green. And we'll describe the play more or less as it goes along. We'll let you know who the players are as much as anything, and let the action speak for itself, as Kecoughtan is threatening, and there is a shot on goal and a save. The Bethel goaltender this afternoon is John Morrow.
That's John Mort, M-O-R-T.
Excuse me.
That's okay. He's the only one that can use his hands in soccer, and you'll notice that the soccer goalies are always in different colored uniforms.
This is again Kecoughtan with the ball. It is stolen by the Bruins. That's James Peterson, number 2 for Bethel, who will inbounds the ball on a throw-in. His throw-in is intercepted by Kecoughtan, and then they promptly knock it out of bounds. It'll give the Bruins another throw-in right at the center of the field. Kecoughtan intercepts. Pass to the right side is intercepted by the Bethel Bruins.
Oh, that was a nice lead pass. It just was a little too far for the forward to get it. It was across the court trying to catch him offside. And nice kick, a nice try on a goalie, but the goalie did a good job.
Deflected by the goalie out of bounds.
Well, evidently he might not have touched it, Tim. If he touches it, then they get a throw in, but if he didn't touch it, then he puts the ball in play by a kick or something.
Or something. A kick or a throw, actually.
Well, yeah, he can throw, he can roll the ball, he can throw the ball, and he can use one hand to throw it, whereas on a toss in from the side, you have to use both hands and both feet being on the ground.
In this case, he allows one of his own teammates to kick the ball, probably one of the stronger passers, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Bruins on the throw-in.
Well, Kecoughtan has a young man who can throw the ball overhead as far as most people can throw it by one hand, and if they have a throw-in close to their goal, he will throw the ball in towards the goal.
Kecoughtan once again intercepts. Cross midfield, the pass coming from number 7, Eric Long. Deep in the corner, the ball goes out of bounds. And they're going to say, I believe, that it was kicked out by the Bruins.
Well, what happened actually is the ball was kicked off of a Bruin and went out and touched the Bruin player last. He actually, that was a smart move. And this is a corner kick. And he'll put some spin on this thing. And the number 4, I believe, is doing the kicking for Kecoughtan.
Scott Seagrave.
And he can kick the ball and curve it right in. And you can see how close that comes to going in.
Well, it was a good effort. And the shot on goal was recorded by Jerry Scarrett. But the save by Mort. Ball is headed to the left side, but it's taken by the Bethel Bruins. Pass to the left. This is Do Kim, number 5. And it's stolen by Kecoughtan. Unless they have changed the original information we were given, Bob, there will be 2 40-minute halves. The clock runs continuously except for timeouts or injuries. Kecoughtan again on the attack in the Bethel zone. The ball is knocked out of bounds, and it was last touched by Kecoughtan. So a throw-in will be forthcoming by the Bruins, and doing the throwing will be James Peterson, number 2. You're watching high school soccer on WHCS. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. This is our first attempt at soccer coverage, and a goal is scored.
And that was just poor defense on the Bruins. They allowed the Kecoughtan Warriors to intercept the ball very close to the goal, and they had like a 2-on-1, and it's tough for a goalie.
That was Sean Holleran, the goal scorer, number 18, a forward. Holleran, who had 2 goals against Western Branch in that 4-0 victory. And that's his first goal, or excuse me, his 3rd goal of the season. And he has 2 assists to go along with those 3 goals. So the Warriors score to take the initial lead, 1-0. Here in the first half, we do not have an official scoreboard clock. Time is being kept on the field, so we'll try to guesstimate how much time has elapsed. I would say at this point we're probably about 10 minutes into the first half.
Now we're going to have a corner kick this time from the opposite side, so Kecoughtan will use a different ball player to, well, actually number 4 is doing it both. That's Scott Seagraves. I thought they may use somebody else because now he'll be kicking with his left foot, but evidently he's as good with one footer as he is with the other one. Well, maybe he's going to kick with his right foot, which that's what I know.
Oh, a header right to the goaltender. So the attempt is another save. And Mort will kick it out of harm's way, but it is intercepted by the Warriors momentarily. And they overrun the football. And this is Peterson, had it momentarily, but it's stolen back by the Warriors. Number 9, that's Dustin Farr.
They do a good job of, it's a lot like basketball in some of their moves out there, Tim. They do we do have a little rough there, but they'll pass the ball like a give and go in basketball. Well, they'll kick the ball, and then they'll break towards the goal, and they'll get a return pass. So there's a lot of the similarities in what basketball is used to. If the fans that are used to basketball will see some similarities out here.
When we get an opportunity, I believe we have the lineups for the teams, and when we get the next stoppage of play, we'll run down the starters for both teams. A header on the goal post. The follow-up is good, and the goal is scored by Jeremy Scarrett.
Yeah, the goalkeeper came out to stop the ball and left the goal unattended.
So Kecoughtan, facing the undermanned Bethel Bruins, have taken a 2-0 lead here in the first half. This game played on the 18th of April, 1990, coming to you from the brand new Darling Stadium. And now it's completed, Bob. We can rant and rave a little bit about the press facilities here.
It's
and the field
awesome
in general.
up here.
The whole facility here is superb, and we look forward to future soccer games. And of course, this coming fall, we will be returning with our high school football game of the week right here on WHCS.
Well, we've got our first substitute. I see the Bethel Bruins have substituted already.
Pass on the left wing is a little too tall for the intended player, and it goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Warriors. Dustin Farr will throw in for Kecoughtan. He throws a lead pass into the corner. This is long, shot on goal, or I should say at least a shot against, not in fact a shot on goal. Bethel, who have not been in the offensive zone of Kecoughtan often is finally in there for the first time, and there is a shot that goes wide.
And I believe there was a Kecoughtan ball player that kicked the ball out of bounds, if I'm not mistaken. And you'll notice they have ball boys, if you want to call them, or ball keepers on the side, so that when the ball goes out of bounds and it goes quite a ways, he has another ball he can put in play right away.
He's getting more exercise than anyone out there.
He's getting a lot of exercise. We need to get his name.
Corner kick for the Bruins. Of course, the effort is to set the ball up and have a chance to either head the ball or kick the ball in. And that time it was a little too tall, but I believe they're going to say that it was touched by Kecoughtan. So it went out of bounds, and now a throw-in for the Bruins into a crowd. It's headed out of bounds by Kecoughtan again. This time we'll bring up a corner kick for the Bruins.
Well, it goes over the end line, they get the corner kick.
Centered and headed out. Played by the Bruins. Ball goes out of bounds. Playing it for the Bruins a moment ago was 17, Brant Corish. And these names, unfortunately, are very new to us, so we will, as we learn them, we will inform you of them. We're working under a bit of a handicap here as far as the information we were able to gather before today's game.
Well, I want to tell you, I appreciate the coaches taking time to talk to me. Coach Lindsay from Kecoughtan actually set me down and showed me a tape of a ball game to try to educate me a little bit.
You're a step ahead of me. Actually, I played a little intramural soccer back in '02 when I was younger. And I'll give you one little piece of information that wasn't too difficult to figure out. This takes a lot of stamina. This game is a very exhausting sport, basically nonstop. The Bruins' Kenny Pressgraves passes on the right side, but it's now controlled by the Warriors. And goalie Sean Harrington, who is pitching a shutout for the season. He has yet to allow a goal, in this being his 5th game. Kecoughtan again controls. Momentarily losing the ball was 23, and that is Jeremy Scarrett, who has one of the 2 Kecoughtan scores. Actually, I was a little premature in my guess there. You see one of the officials. If we have the names of the officials, I believe we were able to get that information, and we'll give you those names momentarily. Throw in forthcoming for Kecoughtan. That is Dustin Farr. Again, he is.
Now look how far he'll throw this ball.
Yeah, he has a very strong arm. Of course, you must throw it with 2 hands, and you must throw it overhead.
Hell, he just kicked a field goal. Oh, it doesn't count. You don't get 3 points for that.
There you see the officials, Dwight Powell, Zoran Martinovic, and Mark Cook.
So you got a referee and 2 linesmen.
And we appreciate young lady Lisa for that information. She ran out just before the game started and got the gentleman to give us the names. This is Kecoughtan with the ball. That is Ed Ramey, number 2. Left side pass to Eric Long. Dustin Farr.
You did see that give and go? Great give and go.
Kevin Spencer, number 14, has it, but it is in fact then controlled by the goalie. And he kicks the ball out towards the center of the field. Actually ends up in Kecoughtan territory. Contact between players is made. Kecoughtan comes up with control. Nice move by Ed Ramey that time as he dribbled the ball. You thought only basketball players dribbled.
That's right.
Good centering pass.
Oh, nice pass.
But defended well by the Bethel Bruins as well, as the pass was intended for number 18, Sean Holleran, who had the initial score of the afternoon.
And we have another substitute coming in. When you hear that little horn, did you hear the horn beep? I don't know if they can pick it up on our stadium or not, but that's when you can substitute. When the ball goes out of bounds and you have the throw-in, you can substitute.
Coming in is number 24, Chris Blaylock. Chris is a freshman forward, and he plays half as well. Has a 3.6 grade average, and he has fine skills and the ability to shoot with both feet. Got a lot of information, and I want to tell the Kecoughtan people we're most appreciative of their information. We unfortunately did not get a similar source of information from Bethel, so hopefully in the future as we do more soccer games we'll be able to be a little more knowledgeable about these players and the teams. Thought you'd enjoy, though. This is our main purpose for doing this. There you see the lineup for Bethel, as you see the goaltender, the sweeper, the 3 fullbacks, 3 halfbacks, and 3 forwards.
Now, if you notice, when Kecoughtan comes up, they'll show the Kecoughtan lineup. They run 2 forwards and 4 halfbacks. We get a chance to see that, and
we'll do that on the next stoppage if possible. Kecoughtan again with control. The shot on goal was deflected out of bounds by the Bruins. It'll result in a corner kick. There you see the Kecoughtan starters. Harrington, the goaltender, Ward, the sweeper. And you see they have 3 fullbacks, 4 halfbacks, as you said, Bob. And then there are 2 forwards. So it's kind of a different formation for the Warriors. Obviously, it's legal, but it's a little different.
Well, and it gives them a little more power offensively, he believes, than before. But if you look at that Kecoughtan the record that the Kecoughtan Warriors had since 1977, 155 wins, 23 losses, and 17 ties. That is an awesome record, and Coach Lindsay's been there since 78, has a 43-5-4 record, and 3 of those losses that he has come from opponents in the regionals, and one of them was to the eventual state championship team. So.
And there you see the respective coaches, Ray Ellenson of Bethel and Alan Lindsay of Kecoughtan. We'll also have a second game for you to enjoy this week. We're going to have the Hampton Crabbers and the Warwick Raiders, a game that will also be played here at the new Darling Stadium. This is Kecoughtan with the ball. Pass on the right side. This is Dustin Farr. His lead pass is a little too long for Ed Ramey. Ramey does kick it back too far. Now Kevin Spencer.
Oh, nice.
Good centering pass, and just a near miss.
Well, that was a beautiful defensive job down there by the young man for Bethel. I don't have the binoculars. If I could catch it, looks like number 3. Did an excellent job of knocking that ball out.
That would be Brian McGinnis.
Here I'm at Darling Stadium with Coach Lindsay from Kecoughtan. Coach, tell me a little bit about your team this year.
Well, we have a lot of new players from last season's team. We lost 7 all-district players, and we're trying to replace them with some sophomores and some freshmen. And if they mature and the older guys pick up the leadership roles that are vacated from last year, we'll be okay.
The soccer's a little different than some of the other sports in that you can't use your hands. But I was talking to Ray Ellenson, and he had a tough game against Hampton, lost 7 ball players. Will your team be a little complacent because they figure it's going to be an easy match? Is that a problem coaching soccer?
No, there's no such thing as an easy match. I mean, it's like hockey. Sometimes a hot goalkeeper can turn a team around. They can score an easy goal and pack the defense and hold us out. Well, like I said, we could come out flat. I've seen everybody in the district play so far, and I really think that anybody could beat anybody this year. For instance, Lafayette and Phoebus 1-0 double overtime yesterday, and I doubt anybody would have forecast that in the preseason.
Okay, well, good luck to you the rest of the season. I know that you're expecting some good teams. The teams have picked you to be number 1 this year. Does that put pressure on you being in the district number 1?
No, not really. I think it's kind of complimentary considering the number of players we lost. I think if we can live up to expectations that I have for them, the kids have for themselves, we should have a good season.
Well, good enough. Well, congratulations. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now let's go back up to Tim.
First half of action, you're watching Kecoughtan and Bethel. Kecoughtan again on the attack.
And they have been on the attack virtually the whole day. And it's because Bethel he's got a lot of players playing out of positions too. Kecoughtan, which is going to make it rather tough on his team. They're playing positions that they probably normally had not practiced that much at playing, so that creates a problem also.
There you see our score. We're in the first half. That's, of course, Kecoughtan versus Bethel. Get a little replay of that defensive effort by the Bruins here. You see a good feed on the left side and then an attempt to center the ball.
And you see number 3 coming from the right side. Does a good job of blocking out right here. Does a good job of helping the defender kick the ball the wrong place. He did a good job. We got a slow-mo camera running.
Brian McGinnis was that Bethel player. Again, the scoreboard inoperable. They keep the time on the field. I would think that I got my clock running here. We're about 20 minutes into this ball game, so I guess you could equate that to being the end of the first quarter. 2 40-minute halves. Ball played by the goaltender for Bethel. His name, John Mort. And his kick is taken by Ed Ramey. Centering pass played by the goaltender, but he lost it, and a goal is scored.
And he did a great job of grabbing the ball, but when he fell down, the ball popped loose. And if he doesn't have the ball control of it, then it's a live ball. And Kecoughtan took advantage. That's number 19 for the Warriors. I believe is the one to score that.
Actually, unless I didn't see it's number 18. That's Holleran. That'll be his second. So he's got the first and the third goal scored by the Warriors.
And we got another substitute coming in. Bethel is substitute. They have just one substitute over there. Bless their hearts. Their kids are going to be wore out. Because Kecoughtan can run, like you said, they got another whole team sitting on the bench over there. They can run them in and just run these guys ragged.
Well, I think what you'll see, too, is Kecoughtan will certainly take advantage of this opportunity to play some of the players there. You see the reserves for Kecoughtan. A lot of the players who may not normally get a lot of action will undoubtedly rather get some playing time this afternoon. I'm sure that Ray Ellenson will appreciate that fact. If Mr. Lindsay, the coach of Kecoughtan, will in fact go to his bench, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. But as I said before, anyone who's ever played soccer knows how taxing this game can be. You are virtually in motion at all times.
The only one that's not doing any running is the goalkeeper.
A violation called against Kecoughtan will give the ball to the Bruins. Bruins have the pass intercepted once again. This is Scott Seagrave. His pass is taken by the Bruins, and they promptly kick the ball out of bounds.
Almost up here. That ball's clear up here.
Get a chance to watch a replay. I believe this might be of the goal that occurred moments ago.
Yes, it is. Well, a nice kick on the goal, but the goalkeeper does a good job, but you see he lost it as he hit the ground. And that was just one of those things, but there's an opportunistic play by Holleran.
Goes out of bounds, last touched by the Bruins. So a throw-in will be coming up for the Warriors. That'll be Eric Long, number 7, who will inbounds for Kecoughtan. And he'll throw it right back to his goaltender, who has not seen much action this afternoon. Sean Harrington has been virtually untested, with the exception of maybe a 2-minute period there when the Bruins did get into the offensive zone, and Kecoughtan did a good job of shutting them down. Good tackle by the Bruins, but the ball does in fact go out of bounds.
We're here at Darling Stadium with the inaugural soccer match between Bethel and Kecoughtan, and I have with me Coach Ellenson, who is the head coach at Bethel High School. Ray, tell me a little bit about the team you've got.
Well, we're mostly a young team. We got a lot of juniors, and we're just learning with a little bit of inexperience, but we hope to give everybody a good game.
Well, I know that I had a roster from you earlier, and I come today, and you've got a lot of changes in it. You had a tough game with Hampton the other day.
We sure did. We lost 7 players at that game, and they won't be playing today, so we got 7 new players out in the field, and we'll see what they can do.
What do you expect from this Kecoughtan bunch? Are they a pretty good team?
Supposed to be best in the district, and I just hope they don't beat us by too much.
Well, congratulations on a nice start and being on channel WHCS, and good luck today.
Thank you very much for telecasting.
Okay. Tim, we'll go back to you.
And again, another substitution, this one for the Warriors. And again, we'll try and keep up with these. That's Ed Lilly, number 10, who has just checked in. He's a senior back. He's a member of Harbor Lights Regional and State Chorus. A cappella choir, offered a thespian scholarship to Alderson, and I'm getting into some of the stuff I'm not sure of.
But yeah, I thought I was impressed.
I was impressed. He's a first year on the varsity, a steady, let me get that right, and speedy, unspectacular player who can dominate the air. And I don't know what that means, but they wrote it. So, unspectacular player. I'm not sure that's very nice.
Well, that means he gets the things done without a lot of flair. So that's, I believe that's a compliment. I would call it a compliment.
I'm sure it is. That was the gist I got of it, is he doesn't look real spectacular, but he gets the job done. Can't do much better than that. The Warriors again on the attack. This time the ball is taken away by the Bruins.
That was a good job for the defensive job by the Bethel Bruin on a tackle. One of the defenders back there, and I can't catch his number. They got a small number on the front and a big number on the back. So,
talk to Bethel about these numbers on their jerseys. I think that was, and unless I'm otherwise corrected, I'm going to give credit on that play to number 9 of Bethel.
That is exactly who it is.
Now if I can just get a name to go along with it.
With the number.
He was not a starter, so lo and behold, if you have a little further information on Bethel there, we want to put as many names with numbers as we can. Do you have their lineup there, Ron?
Yes, sure do. Number 9, that's Ennis Winters.
Ennis Winters, okay, thank you. First half of action, Kecoughtan on top, 3-0. High school soccer, Peninsula Group AAA. The coolness of the day, temperature in the 50s. It feels like football weather out here. And, you know, Bob, won't be that long before we'll be looking at football in Darling Stadium. And this coming season, all of the home games for the Hampton City Schools will be played here at Darling Stadium.
Yeah, that's a nice change from the last 2-3 years.
Yep, last year was about the 4th game or 5th game into the season before the facility was ready. It's completed. And we certainly encourage you fans to come out not only for high school football, but also for the soccer. There's a rather small crowd on hand on this crisp April afternoon.
Well, there's plenty of seats, so if you come out, you would not have to fight for a seat.
That's for sure.
She was a second-team all-district pitcher last year as a freshman.
That's right. Our director reminds us that not only are the seats readily available, there's no charge for admission. So you can't fight the price.
That's for sure.
We remind you as well that in addition to a second soccer game being played by Hampton and Warwick, which you can see right here on WHCS, we'll also have both girls and boys high school softball and baseball coming up.
In fact, I believe in a couple of weeks we have the girls softball, and the first week of May we got the boys baseball, and looking forward to that.
So check the message board here at WHCS for the time the games will be played, and a goal is scored. And I believe the score will be credited to Ed Ramey, number 2. I believe, is that the way you would have called that?
That's exactly who got the goal. Old Eagle Eye Cole. He doesn't miss many.
It's a till I get these new bifocals. So Ed Ramey connects to make it 4-0 in favor of Kecoughtan. Let's see if we can find out a little bit about Mr. Ramey. Says here he's a senior halfback, first team All-District in 1989 as a halfback. Here you see a repeat here. We see Ramey coming to the center of your screen, and he does a good job of getting the left foot on the ball.
And it just rolls in. The goalie couldn't get to it.
It's barely trickled in there, but Ramey was a regional All-District player as a fullback, I should say. A skillful player who has the ability to score and play excellent defense. Ed Ramey has added to his team's total now. It's 4-0 here in the first half. Kecoughtan over an outmanned Bethel team. Again, looking over this information, that was his 5th goal of the season. He is the team leader in goals with 5. He had the winning goal against York, and he had 2 goals in that victory over Morey, as well as 1 against Western Branch. So Ramey has a 5-game, or check that, a 4-game scoring streak intact.
It looks like we may get a free kick or something there. You got a little penalty. When you have a penalty, then you get a free kick from the spot of the penalty. If it gets inside the box, and then you get one that you can kick direct towards the goal, I guess. I'll tell you, the activity is just non-stop out there. It's amazing the stamina these young men have. And it looks like the Warriors are a little more in control because they used to playing with the players out there, and they know where everybody is going to be. And when your team is missing 7 people, who most of them are normally starters, you have people who are out of positions. It makes a big difference when you're playing a team, especially a team at Kecoughtan's caliber.
Kyle Faxon, number 21, a sophomore forward, kicked the ball out of bounds. He was going in on goal and couldn't get the shot away for Kecoughtan. And now the Bruins will control. And you'll see a replay of the last play.
Makes a nice save.
You see Faxon to the right of your screen as he is in on goal and then just boots it off the hand of the goaltender, it appeared, out of bounds. Back to the live action, we're going to see a Bethel throw-in. Again, one of the few times this afternoon that Bethel has been in Kecoughtan territory at this depth. Intercepted and headed out by Kecoughtan, but regained by the Bruins.
If you know, when Kecoughtan is down there playing defense, all their players are down there, and their line such is so hard to find an open man to get the ball to.
Pass from Justin Guidry is intercepted by Kecoughtan. And the ball will be controlled by the goalie, Sean Harrington. Kecoughtan moves the ball up on the right side. Ramey towards the goal, chased by the Bethel goalie, and he gets to it first. As in on the pressure was Faxon, Kyle Faxon, 21. Out of bounds, last touched by the Warriors. James Peterson with the throw in. Still neither team has gained control. Now finally Kecoughtan does. Right side pass is intercepted by the Bruins. And it goes out of bounds.
And Kecoughtan is bringing in 3 substitutes. So Coach Lindsay is doing a little bit about what you talked about, just running some ball players in that probably don't get a chance to play that much. But with a 4-0 lead, it's a time to do it. Gives your team some experience. Plus, there has not been that many goals attempted at your goal. How many shots attempted? They run some good plays. If you can see the strategy of one of the offside forwards breaking towards the goal and getting a pass from across the court. It reminds me of a fast break in basketball.
If you just join us, you're watching AAA High School Soccer here on WHCS. I'm Tim Cole with Bob Hintz, as we are bringing you the first of 2 soccer games on the high school level that we'll have for you this season. And we'll be wrapping up our spring schedule here with some girls softball and boys baseball in the latter parts of April and early May.
Well, I hope we can get some days that are bright and sunny as today for our baseball and softball games. We have been plagued in the past by bad weather and had to reschedule and all, and it makes it a little tough on us. We don't have the flexibility of the schools to reschedule at any time. And hopefully we'll run into good weather and get these games to the fans out there.
Bruins offense has been virtually non-existent this afternoon, while Kecoughtan has been in the Bruin zone for the better part of this game, first half. But the Bruins are giving it their all, as short-manned as they are, with basically enough players to start the game and 1 reserve. That's a major deficit when you play a game that is as exhausting as this one can be. And a shot and a score by Scarrett. Jeremy Scarrett has his 2nd goal of the afternoon.
And there's a good shot of Scarrett coming in. That was a nice offensive move that they made down there. They do a good job of passing the ball and hitting a man breaking to an open area. They know where ball players are supposed to be, and when they run certain plays, and it's an automatic thing, Tim. It's not one that he calls like you get in a huddle in football and they call off tackle or whatever. It's just dictated by the presence of the ball and where people are in the field, what they do, and it's. Kecoughtan is well coached, as you can see, and this is a nice job of Scarrett coming right in there and putting the ball right over the goalie's head. Mort's had a busy day back there.
That is Scarrett's 3rd goal of the season. He had 1 coming in, and he has 2 this afternoon. He and Holleran each with 2, and Ed Ramey with the 5th Kecoughtan goal. And again, Kecoughtan putting the pressure on the Bruins, and the Bruins just kick it out of bounds to get a chance to recoup.
That's not a bad move. You're right. He's exactly what the Bruin did. They just kicked the ball out of bounds so that they could get some ball players back down and play a little defense.
That was Brant Korish, number 17, who did that.
Now Dustin Farr will throw this ball in, and he'll throw it into a guy, and hopefully we'll get a header in, and that's what they're trying to do.
It almost worked. I believe they're going to rule that Kecoughtan was offside, and it will be a goalie kick. And he'll be allowed to have one of the other players kick the ball if he chooses to do so, and that is Brian McGinnis, number 3, who's got it lined up.
Nice interception by the Bruins that time, but the Kecoughtan steals it right back.
The Bruins are not giving up by any means. Being down 5-0, they could, but they are still out there hustling and playing hard. It's Mark Chase, number 18. We had it a moment ago for the Bruins. And Mort, who has handled the ball a great number of times this afternoon. Ball is out at the center of the field, and it was last touched out of bounds by Kecoughtan. Throw in coming for the Bruins. This is Do Kim, number 5, who will do so.
It's fun, though, because so many times you see these teams play, and of course these girls are neighborhood friends. Kecoughtan and Phoebus, of course.
And there you see the score, 5-0 in favor of the Warriors, and we're still in the first half of play. And I don't. What's your approximate time left in the half, Tim?
I can only guess that I would say we're inside of 5 minutes to go in the half, or certainly right around 5 minutes to go. They do not keep the time on the scoreboard clock here.
It just makes the competition a little more keener. And it's fun to see the good-hearted competition.
Nice pass on the left wing, and it goes wide of the goal. Play was set up nicely by Ed Ramey, and Sean Holleran was involved in that play as well. They tried to get the ball over to Chris Blaylock, number 24, and he just kicked it wide.
Leading off for the Warriors is Missy Clark with an error. She'll reach on an error. This one will be registered against.
There you see your score. The Warriors shutting out the Bruins. Again, not to make excuses for Bethel, they just are undermanned this afternoon. 7 players who would normally play out with injuries. That's about a third of your team. It's kind of tough to try and come back from.
Nobody out here in the 4th inning. Kecoughtan again threatening, leading by 3.
And Emily's batting 393.
Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch.
It is, and that's the pitch that.
Bruins get back on defense. We'll give the ball to Kecoughtan. It should be a corner kick, I believe.
Yeah, it went over the end line, so that will be a corner kick.
Strike 2 on Belvin, so quickly ahead of the batter. Nobody out, runner on second. This one's high, ball 1.
Scott Seagrave, number 4, will do the kick in, and it's headed over the goal post out of bounds. Seagrave is a fullback, a 3.0 point grade average. He tackles well. He's quick to enter the attack. He's very effective, according to his coach.
So the run scores as Missy Clark comes all the way around from second base, and the double puts Emily on second with, again, nobody out. And the batter will be the pitcher, Carey Price.
And we've got a whistle, and I believe that will be a signal.
That is the end of the first half.
End of the first half. So we'll return to Darling Stadium with the second half of the game between the Bethel Bruins and the Kecoughtan Warriors after a brief timeout. A score at halftime. The Bethel Bruins on the short end of a 5-0 score. Kecoughtan leads 5-0. We'll be right back. Second half of action about ready to get underway. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz coming to you from the new Darling Stadium. where the Kecoughtan Warriors have gone out on top 5-0 here in the first half. As you look at the Kecoughtan bench, and if we could show you a picture of the Bethel bench, you wouldn't see anyone on it. If you joined us late, the Bethel Bruins are playing with just one extra player this afternoon as they suffered severe injuries to their team. I hope none of the injuries themselves were severe, but the fact that you had 7 key players injured in a game last week against the Hampton Crabbers. So Bethel playing with a lot of new players in their lineup, but giving it their all, I should add. And for the Kecoughtan Warriors, they had 2 goals each from Sean Holleran and Jeremy Scarrett in the first half, and a lone goal by Ed Ramey, who is their team leading scorer. And you'll see a replay of the last attempt here, going well over the cage. And we're back to the live action now. This is Kecoughtan in the green and white. Blocked at the defense by Brian McGinnis of Bethel.
A lot of these hits are not sharp hits, only real sharp.
Shot on goal and a save by John Mort.
And John Mort has been one busy young man today. They're making a lot of attempts on goal. They being the Warriors.
Mort cannot be solely responsible for the 5 goals that have been allowed. He's done a pretty good job.
Julie Thompson, the catcher, steps in. She squares around and foul tips the bunt.
I jumped that time.
You see a replay. Replay of some of the action just a moment ago. Shot on goal. Fortunately for the Bruins, the shot was directly at Mort, and he was able to make the easy stop. Mort will kick it out. It's intercepted by Kecoughtan. And now it is regained by the Bruins on a good tackle by Peterson.
The ball did bounce up and hit the batter, so that is a strike rather than
And a stoppage in play here will give the ball back to the Warriors.
Of course, had she been outside of the batter's box and it hit her, she'd be out. In this case, she was still in the batter's box, so it's just a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Julie. And she's kind of favoring her right forearm. I'm not sure if she might have hurt herself. Again, she squares around, and she fouls this one off, and that should be a recorded strike, as you cannot bunt on the 3rd strike.
Oh, you can bunt.
Warriors shot well wide of the goal, and it'll be a goalie kick for the Bruins.
So finally, the
Shot well wide by number 18, Sean Holleran.
Well, I'm watching these young men on the sidelines that have the extra balls, and they're really being tested. Oh, there's a nice little breeze coming up. I like that.
8th batter of the inning up here. This is popped up to the 3rd baseman, and she makes the play.
Ed Lilly in the lineup now for the Warriors.
And that brings up Amber.
Give you a rundown of the players on the field for both teams as time allows.
Who has had a very strong
On the field for
doubles.
Kecoughtan, Chris Blaylock, number 24. Eric Long, number 7. Ed Lilly, number 10. Dustin Farr, number 9. Number 23, Jeremy Scarrett.
Twice now the Warriors have batted around and hitting. Strike call.
Nat Ward is the sweeper. He's number 3. Scott Seagrave, number 4, is out there for Kecoughtan as well. Number 14, Kevin Spencer.
And don't forget Sean Harrington, the goalkeeper. He does not have a number. Just a different color uniform.
And now we'll give you the players on the field for the Bruins. They are Justin Guidry, number 12. Brent Korish, number 17. Shot on goal, score!
Nice call. That was a beautiful kick into the corner. Nice score.
Sean Holleran has the hat trick. If you're playing hockey, I don't know if they have a hat trick award in soccer or not.
Watch this nice move by Holleran. He really fakes out the goalkeeper. Nice pass deep downfield. And he just makes a nice fake at the goal and then kicks it in the open area.
Dare I ask who is working the slow-mo machine? Couldn't be Slow-Mo Joe, could it?
I don't think so. I think it's Dr. Sam.
So the Bruins now find themselves down by 6. And as I said, I was trying to give you the lineup on the field right now for the Bruins, and let me do that as I can. John Mort is the goaltender. The forwards are Kenny Pressgraves, Paul Hancock, and Darren Jennings. Do Kim is one halfback, James Peterson another, Brant Korish the third, and the fullback, Mark Chase, Brian McGinnis, and Justin Guidry. The sweeper is Gary Lozier.
Two-way, and the batter is Emily Belbin, who had a double in the same inning, her second time up as well.
A free kick. Free kick. There you see the Kecoughtan
It's
lineup.
look how they line up in front there. So
Yeah, it's the
they're
free
gonna
kick.
Try to block that kick.
7 runs across for the Warriors.
Kecoughtan will get a free kick.
This one is going to be hit to the shortstop. She fields the ball cleanly, throws over to first, and time.
Blocked at the defense momentarily, and a signal of offside. And it'll belong to Bethel.
That was a nice job by Mort. Nice job by Mort.
Through 4 innings for the Warriors.
Little nippy up here this afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah, we bit.
5 hits in the inning as well,
That's
so 11 hits.
Summer weather there earlier this week, and then it's back to winter.
Yeah, yesterday it was up almost 80 degrees, and
Actually, it was 84.
today it's lucky if we get 54. It's going to get back up to 60 to go tomorrow, maybe 60, 70.
Last time it probably embarrassed them a little bit because that's the only blemish they have on their record.
The field is in excellent shape. The ground crew out here, Larry Malloy and his group, are doing an excellent job, and this is going to be soccer is not going to hurt this field at all. I know the football coach is saying, oh no, they're playing soccer on a football field and going to mess it up, but they're not going to mess it up at all. It's in excellent shape. This is a really a awesome stadium now with the new 8-lane track, and it's all laid, and the press box is finished, which we appreciate. It's really a nice place to come.
Far cry from the old Darling Stadium, that's for certain.
End of season.
And you know, with Phoebus's
That'll be a handball call against Kecoughtan, as inadvertently Kecoughtan's player Ed Ramey touched the ball with his right hand, and that causes the stoppage in play. As Bob alluded to earlier in our cable cast, only the goaltenders can touch the ball with their hands.
Well, actually, hands and arms. You can't stick an arm out there to stop the ball.
That was my fault. I got it down. For some reason, I had her and Wendy Alexander changed.
You may have been able to detect that, as our director Scotty Bowers, working with our usual fine crew. Actually, we have some changes to our usual fine crew, but it was still a fine crew nonetheless.
Nonetheless.
As we continue to have superb performances from our crew. That's what I thought. I'm told by our director that Slow-Mo Joe is here. Joe Lewis, who is as good a man at that position as there is, as far as I'm concerned. A man has great hands.
Are you telling me that he is slow?
No, not
Okay.
slow.
Yes, she did.
I tell you, you look down there at Sammy. Now, Sammy's no dummy. He's down there on the sideline, little Sammy, with the sideline camera. But you see who he's got carrying the cord? One of the best-looking gal in the stadium.
That's I don't know Lisa's last name, but that's his girlfriend. She's a star in her own right up there in Richmond on Channel 6.
She does the morning and noon news up there. She's excellent job. People who watch Richmond stations will know her.
We are approximately 10 minutes into the second half. Kecoughtan leading 6-0 on 3 goals by Sean Holleran, 2 by Jeremy Scarrett, and 1 by Ed Ramey. Joined us late. You're watching Peninsula. There you see young Lisa, very attractive young lady, and a regular here on WHCS.
Yes, we've been very fortunate. When Sammy comes down and help, she's there. She comes along.
Started to tell you that you're watching high school soccer, a first for WHCS. This is our initial soccer game here, and I hope you're enjoying the ball game. If you're a Kecoughtan supporter, you certainly have every reason to be happy, and if you're a Bethel fan, our condolences so far in this game. It's been a tough one for the injury-decimated Bruins of Bethel. Kecoughtan has yet to be scored upon this season, let alone in this game. They are 4-0 and a goal.
That's number 2.
Ed Ramey with his second goal of the ball game. So the onslaught continues.
That was a setup on a nice pass, cross court or cross field. I would say cross court in basketball, but out here it's cross field. But nice lead pass.
Kecoughtan stands are getting rowdy over there. The guy is doing the wave. all 12 of them.
Will we get that on camera?
Maybe
Maybe Joe can get that on slow-mo.
I don't think we got a slow-mo on that. We got a couple of them over there, or at least one with his shirt off and shorts. So that's definitely a stout-hearted man to be out here today, even in the sun. It's pretty chilly. And it's getting colder and colder all the time. There you see them. Kecoughtan supporters. Every reason to be happy. Their team up 7-0 here in the second half. Bethel will inbounds.
The most versatile crew in all of television. They do soccer, they do football, they do basketball, softball, baseball.
And now Kecoughtan. Not to the best.
The future, and that's just sports now.
And our cameraman Sammy tried to stop that ball and did a good job of letting it go right between his feet.
Scotty, not Scotty, but Sam Jr. was almost run over a couple of times during the basketball season. And a similar situation in football. He's got a dangerous position on the sidelines there. Kecoughtan on the attack.
They don't do baseball or softball very much. And it looks easy when you watch it. NBC does it or CBS does it. They got 14 cameras. They've got people who can
And they got 14 replay cameras. We've got the one. But you know, in the soccer, first time we ever did soccer.
Ball goes well over the goal. Out of bounds, and the Bruins will have it on a goal kick.
That was number 19 for the Warriors who made that attempt. That was a golden opportunity. Just got it too high and went right over the back, right over the top of the goal. And that's Sean Buckley, who is a junior forward, and he was the leading scorer of the JVs last year. So he's accustomed to getting down there and putting the ball in the net.
Checking in for Kecoughtan, number 15. That's Alan Dawkins. He is a freshman back. He runs cross country, 3.2 grade point average, Eagle Scout, member of National Junior Honor Society. Composed, although only a freshman. He reads the game very well, according to the notes from his coach. And also checking in was the man that you see wrestling for the ball right now for Kecoughtan. That is number 19 for Kecoughtan. That is Sean Buckley. He's a junior forward, leading scorer for the JVs last year.
Cindy is one of the quickest players on the Kecoughtan team. Is a senior in her first year playing, but she's very exciting once she gets on the base. She has not been thrown out this year yet.
Cindy is 2 for 3 this afternoon.
Also in for Kecoughtan now is Brett Sugaru. His sophomore half qualified for the regionals on a cross-country team. Brett is going to be a fine player, according to his coach. Lots of potential.
Well, you know, Kecoughtan's got a tradition in soccer like Hampton and Bethel have in their football prowess, and it just seems like the soccer players migrate to a team that has had a lot of success in the past. But Kecoughtan was one of the soccer teams on the peninsula. In fact, it was one of the very first teams on the peninsula, first high school team on the peninsula. That they were playing other teams. A lot of the peninsula teams didn't have soccer, so they were playing outside of the district and all just to maintain and get some competition in.
Bethel now with a goalie kick.
2 down, nobody on. This one fouled away on the
And the
right side.
officials signal play to resume. Seemingly Kecoughtan constantly getting the ball on offense. Shot on goal and a save, but the ball is loose on the rebound. Still loose. And the shot is just wide to the right. Eric Long teed it up and just missed to the right. So an excellent opportunity for the Kecoughtan Warriors, but good defense by the Bruins as they clogged the middle and were able to thwart the attack of Kecoughtan. Get a chance to watch this on the replay. So what I started to say was it seems like there's about 15 Kecoughtan players and only about 5 Bruin players. It would seem that there are a lot more Warriors on the field most of the time. Obviously there aren't. That's
Just
not
the
case.
way it looks.
Just seems that way.
Yes.
Safely for the second time this afternoon. Check that third time this afternoon. Amy is 3 for 3.
Kecoughtan will have the throw in.
And it brings up the catcher, Julie Thompson. Julie's had kind of a tough afternoon. She reached on a fielder's choice and then was struck out twice. Two-way here and a strike call to Thompson. Runners at first and second.
That's the only weak spot on the batting order today has been Julie, but she has been very active behind the plate catching.
And now it looks like Bethel will get a
Hits it nicely between the
kick from the corner kick.
and then the throw in is off the mark, and in the score will be Blake Groton. The runners advance to second and third.
Who's that kicking trying the corner kick there?
That is number
Eagle eye.
17. Let's see if I can get a name to go along with that number. That's Alan Warren as a freshman.
Because of the runner and was out of position. Had she not been moving,
He was a 16 and under all-state select team.
well, we can't see there's the hit.
Good skills, according to his coach.
Shortstop was going towards third base to help.
I don't know if you're personally familiar with the select soccer leagues that are in this area. There's a lot of them that call select soccer. I don't know if you've had an experience with that, Bob.
Yeah, I've heard of them. That there's some excellent soccers being played on the peninsula.
Well, the select soccer teams are done all by age. If your birthday sets you up to, if you were born in 1977, then you play on the 77s. If you were born in 78, the 78s, and so forth, which of course makes everything fair. And my son, as a matter of fact, has played a little select soccer, and it's an excellent opportunity for learning about the game and getting experience. And I'm sure a good number of these players have played select soccer in their earlier years. These are players that are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, learning the skills early. And soccer is certainly one of the more skilled games that there are. They may at times look like it's easy out there, but there's an awful lot of skill and technique.
It does not look easy to me.
Well, you know, it looks somewhat haphazard at times because it just looks like they're trying to kick the ball, but there are a great deal of techniques involved.
Well, I've watched him take the ball and dribble it down the field and control the ball and step around and use both feet. I have tried to play a little soccer, and I look like a klutz. I mean, you know, so I know, I mean, it may look easy, but it is not easy. it's just like any other skill. You really have to develop and hone the fundamentals, and these young men are excellent at it.
So Jennifer Diggs gets her third strikeout of the afternoon, but the Warriors pick up another run. They do so on 3 singles, and now they've got 14 hits and 14 runs.
Linesman rules that it was last touched before it went out of bounds by a Kecoughtan player. So the Bruins will have the ball. Approximately halfway through the second half. If you've joined us late, the game between Kecoughtan and Bethel, game played on the 18th of April, 1990. High school soccer here on WHCS. Kecoughtan at this point in the season, 4-0 on their way to being 5-0, and they lead 7-0 against a willing but outmanned Bethel High School team.
Sports are not the only thing you see here on Channel 29. There is a very wide variety of
Checking in for Kecoughtan will be number 14, and that would be Kevin Spencer.
about our overall programming or sports in particular. Please don't hesitate to contact
Kevin is a sophomore halfback. He's a member of Harbor Lights, 1989 All-District as a back. His coach says he has exceptional skill. He goes forward very well and starts the offense in midfield. Kecoughtan now with a throw-in, centering pass, and an injured player for the Bruins. There's a player down, and momentarily I think we'll see the stoppage of play, and we do. And I'll try and determine for you momentarily who that was. The young man appeared to take a shot in the face from the kick. The ball hit him right in the face, so hopefully he's just momentarily shaken up.
Well, if there's nobody left, does Coach Ray Ellenson have to go in?
That may be a possibility.
You watch, it's being centered very well by a header out to the center court, and it is kicked right into the guys, and it did hit him right in the face. You can see he's right down on his knees. Good camera work, I tell you.
Darren Jennings.
Number 7. Here's a good shot of him. He's getting up now. He seems to be okay. That's the assistant coach, Greg Bicaveras, there in the shirt, and that goes Coach Ray Ellenson walking off with the young man, shooken up a little bit. Shook up.
Well, I'm happy to say Mr. Jennings looks like he's going to be all right, and he will come out. And the lone substitute, sound like the old Ranger, the lone substitute will come in for the Bruins.
one on, nobody out here.
Shot on goal is a save by John Mort.
But you see how well the Warriors center that ball and pass it and get it to an open man for a goal kick. They just do an excellent job.
And if you'll notice as well, Bob, when the Bruins are on offense, Kecoughtan just swarms on defense. As I said before, it almost appears as they have a mismatch in the numbers of players that they're using because of their aggressiveness, and they get to the ball so quickly that they just shut down the Bethel offense before it can virtually get untracked. Played by the goaltender Mort as racing in were 2 Warriors.
We mentioned this the other day, and we certainly want to.
This is Peterson, and he just can't get past the Warrior defenders.
A great number of these young ladies are good academic students, and that's something not enough recognition.
It was Mike Behan, a junior back, 5th in district in cross country, and a 3.6 point grade average. I really like to hear about these grade point averages. I think we should emphasize more how well these young athletes do scholastically.
Well, I agree with you. It's all a matter of being able to get the information, and Coach Lindsay was very helpful in getting this information. And not saying that Coach Ellenson couldn't, but
just unfortunately we weren't able to
get it from him. But
so we encourage you, any of you coaches out there that might be listening, when we do have some of our coverage of your games, the more information you can give us, the more we can tell the folks about these players and about their achievements in both on and off the field. And we certainly like to emphasize, if not equally, more of the information about these young academic standings. These 3 points, there's a lot of good students on this Kecoughtan team, and I'm sure there are a like number of good students on Bethel. I just don't have the information to disseminate.
She had it right. She just didn't have anybody to throw to. And she probably could have.
Our director mentioned Greg Bicaveras. Of course, you mentioned his name a minute ago, as being an assistant coach for the Bruins.
And of course, people will recognize that name, his mother being teacher of the year last year.
Shot on goal just wide to the left as the goaltender had come all the way out. Mort was way over on the left side of the field, and the Warrior was able to get it away from him and just loft a shot towards the net. And fortunately for the Bruins, it was wide to the left.
I knew it because I watched the official, not because I heard, but because I saw the played up signal fair ball.
Exactly. So the Phantoms get a break of sorts here as
An infraction against Kecoughtan, as the official right there on the field indicated not a penalty per se, but an infraction against Kecoughtan and a free ball for the Bruins. I would assume that would have been an interference play where he was interfered with before the ball got there. Kecoughtan regains control. This is Richard Walters. There you get a chance to see just the tail end of this. See the Kecoughtan player impeding the progress of the Bethel player, and that was a violation. Trying to say another player in there now, Richard Walters. He's a senior halfback, number 5 in his class. Will attend Georgetown on ROT scholarship. He's captain of the debate team as well. Kecoughtan certainly has been able to and has gone to its bench quite often here in the ballgame. We're about 15 minutes short of the conclusion of this game. Just to recap for you, Sean Holleran opened the scoring for Kecoughtan, and then Jeremy Scarrett made it 2-0. Holleran made it 3-0. Ed Ramey scored the first of 2 for him to make it 4-zip. Then Scarrett came back again for his second goal. Sean Holleran followed with his third of the game, and Ed Ramey with his second to make it 7-zip. You may have noticed that the ball there was going along the sideline, and it appeared to touch the sideline. It can do so, as a matter of fact, and still be ruled inbounds. It has to do just as it did right there. It actually fully crossed the line to be deemed out of bounds.
It's not like your other sports. If you touch the sidelines in football and basketball and even in volleyball, if it touches the line, it's out. Here it has to actually go over the line.
And not that it's of great importance, but in fact, a player can be standing out of bounds and kick the ball, and it's a good play. The player is not the determiner of the inbounds or out of bounds position of the ball. The player actually could be standing out of bounds. Kecoughtan with the football, with a soccer ball, I should say. Of course, in England, this is football.
That's true.
There's so many variations of the game. They call it football and soccer.
I'm not sure whether we have that on replay or not, the play that resulted in that, but that was the call that the batter either stepped out of the batter's box or stepped on the plate. And he immediately, in defense of Bill Branham, he immediately...
Bruins have the ball.
And of course, all the motion continued as it should.
It was Justin Guidry, number 12, who had it momentarily for Bethel. And now we're going to see a change of goalies for the Kecoughtan Warriors. And Bob, if you can check your roster there for us.
Well, I don't have another goalie. I don't think I have another goalie on my roster. Let's see. Let me do some checking. I sure don't.
The pitcher
John Doe is now playing goal.
Well, he was one of the young men had been playing earlier. And
you think he just dressed him as a
yeah,
goaltender?
he just because he has the white pants on and just put on a different jersey. So he'd been playing earlier.
Yeah, I noticed in our rosters that they only listed a singular goaltender for each team. And, of course, I guess what they allow you to do is to, as you said, just put on the goalie's jersey and take over. So we apologize for not knowing who might now be playing that position for Kecoughtan. But they have, in fact, changed their goaltender, leading 7-0 in the latter stages of this soccer game.
Good time out there today. She's got a smile on her face. She is enjoying this game, it looks like. And it's been that way since the onset.
This is Scarrett, Jeremy Scarrett.
Diggs hits it back to the pitch.
Passes on the left side.
Over to first in time.
Chased down by yet another new face in this ball game.
Number 20.
Tell you about him, that is Sue Hayon Seward. He's a senior half. He's captain of the wrestling team.
So 2 away now in the 5th. You get a chance to watch this one again.
So as we expected, Ray Ellenson is watching Kecoughtan bring on more and more players while he has, unfortunately, had to stick with basically his starters. I don't see a reserve on the sideline at all now for Bethel.
Runner could not advance. Sabrina Jocko.
Shot is a good one, or is it not?
Yeah, it is good. That was a super pass by number 14. I'm sorry, number 16 of the Bruins passed the ball well, so that. But I can't catch the number of the young man. Number 24 made the.
That's Chris
the goal.
Blaylock.
But that was a nice pass.
Here you see the replay, the pass to the right side, and then a return pass.
This is the pass right there.
Perfect
Just
pass
excellent.
to Blaylock, and he just glances it off of the post and in for the score, and that will now make the score 8-0 in favor of the Warriors.
The third, and she throws the runner out to end the inning. So I guess you could say that Amber Routen's having a real fine afternoon. She's got
About 7 or 8 minutes remaining in the ball game. The reason we don't have the exact time is they do not post that time here at the stadium. The official time is kept
And that was a tough. That
down on
was
the sidelines.
shot down there. I mean, that was not an easy hit to watch this. She hit that. Jocko hit that ball hard. And Brown just stopped the ball, stayed in front of it, and made an excellent throw to first.
He threw her out by 6 or 7 steps. So Jocko is out to end the inning. The Warriors.
It's a give and go right there. It's a classic, basic play in basketball, and it's so simple that, and you can just see it really developing up here in the press box. The Warriors do an excellent job, and he's bringing in 4 brand new substitutes.
With 4 runs on 3 hits. I'm up to you.
We'll run down some more of these players for you to give you the information that we have. One of the new players out there is so new we don't even have a name for him.
What's his number?
His number is 12, and I don't see. Well, I see him now. Marcus Carter. He's a senior half, and he'll be attending Liberty University. So I prematurely.
Is the information that Coach Lindsay gives us, it's hard for me to believe that he
Oh, you're
would
right.
not have given us all the names. So
He's got it all. He's done a good job for us. We appreciate it.
Routen leading off. She'll be followed by Missy Clark and Emily Belbin.
Mike, I don't know why I want to call him Kevin. Mike Bean, the junior back, number 13 is in there for Kecoughtan. Kevin Spencer, that's the Kevin I'm trying to make out here. Number 14 is in there.
Routen will step in. softball.
It's quite a kick from the goalie.
Boy,
the
it was
substitute
that.
goalie. And he was getting jeered by his the Kecoughtan fans over there when he made that save on a very weak shot on goal. They were applauding as if he had made a spectacular stop.
Brings up Missy Clark.
So Kecoughtan is reveling in this 8-0
Steps in with one away here in the sixth. She fouls this one back over
romp
her head.
over the outman Bethel Bruins. The Bruins, give them credit, have not given up this afternoon. They've been out there playing hard, as you see them continuing to do so. They just don't have the guns it takes against what was already going to be a superior Kecoughtan team.
She bobbles the ball
And an offside pass.
is Missy Clark.
Well, that was a
Racing in on the left side was number 22, Brett Sugaru. But the offside.
Emily Belvin will come in. She scored twice today. She reached on a fielder's choice, a single, and she had a double, and then on the second time up in the fourth inning, she was round out third to first. Takes a pitch high outside, ball one.
Approximately 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. And I'm sure for Kecoughtan it'll be a welcome victory, and for the Bruins they'll be glad this afternoon is over.
Kecoughtan wants to have a chat with Emily before they go too much further.
gets her to take off her helmet so we make sure he talks to her here.
We do want to take an opportunity here to thank the fine folks here at Phoenix High School.
Well, I look out on the field and I see the Kecoughtan players running very hard and the Bethel players running not quite as hard.
Well, I tell you, Clay Washington, principal here, was around here when I first got here, and Harry
I'm
Bell helps, and of course Wade.
going to have to take your word on who scored that goal. I was
Well,
looking, I
if you
think
give
that was
me your,
Brett Sugaru, number 22, but I'm not sure.
23. He's just going off of the
Oh,
field
okay.
on the far side.
Well, that would. Let's watch this again on the replay. I was checking something on the sidelines and turned my head for just a moment. That's the beauty of having slow-mo Joe around. This is Jeremy Scarrett, as he does a good job of faking the goaltender out and scoring his third goal of the afternoon.
Does play second.
So he got a hat trick.
Umpire says nope, she's safe. Well, oh, okay, that was not ball four. It's 3-0.
So Scarrett had the second and the fifth goals, and now adds the ninth goal for the Kecoughtan Warriors as they are romping by a score of 9-0.
And there was no throw. No throw, and then she's standing on the bag to try to tag her. She's safe. You got to tag her before then. And a strike call. So the count now to Belvin is 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner at second is Missy Clark. We have one away here in the top half of the sixth. 14-4 in favor of Kecoughtan. High outside to Belvin. So that, in fact, will be a base on balls for Emily Belvin, and it'll bring up the batter, Carrie Price, the pitcher. Carrie grounded out in the first, reached on an error in the third and scored. She got a single in the fourth and scored, and she flied out to center in.
Kecoughtan again on the attack. Save is made by Mort. Kecoughtan gets the ball back. Now the Bruins steal.
66. He does a good job.
They try and push the ball up the field. Kecoughtan last touched it before it went out of bounds.
The thing about this Kecoughtan team, they have attempted this game. They have attempted 166 stolen bases, Tim, and have stolen 159 out of 166. That's pretty good average. So they're a pretty heads-up running team. They will take advantage of any.
Just moments away. There you see Dr. Sam Stills, the jack of all trades, right outside the booth here as he is manning the camera. We're working with a makeshift crew this afternoon.
Well, Beverly Penn was on the camera, and
Hits it to the first base.
Dr. Sam came up and relieved her just a few minutes ago.
Going to reach safely. Play it home, and she's
There you
safe.
see our other crew member, and
Scores.
Melvin Hooker is the young man working that camera.
Well, all fairness to
I guess Jerome has gone home.
she reached out and tagged
And
her
slow-mo with his action there. You saw
ball out of her mitt.
some of the previous action here.
Even turnaround
Joe Lewis, who's
that throw.
Working the slow motion machine this afternoon.
Has happened to Phoebus today.
Kecoughtan again presses the ball up left side.
Play would have been called out.
Yes. Oh, she definitely had him.
Good job of stopping the pass, and then the shot is out of bounds to the left by Shugru.
Knocked out of her glove.
Holland takes high, ball 2.
Another substitution for Kecoughtan. Kyle Faxon comes back in, number 21, for the Warriors.
Ball into second. Over to first. In time, the run scores. So Emily Bellman now scores the 16th run of the inning. Holland was out.
16-4.
2 outs here. 2 outs in the 6th. Get a chance to watch the replay here. Ball hit to the second baseman, over to first.
Well, this is Blake Routon, the other half of the Routon sister group. She's going to be in the NASA co-op program next year. She is a senior.
Another mock cheer from
Broughton scores 3 times.
our latest goaltenders fans.
He is batting 364.
We've heard her batting average with 3 for 4. Quick throw down. Price gets back, but the ball is back up.
The Bruins shaken up on that play just a moment ago, and as short men as they are, they can only hope the horn sounds to end this game. Darren Jennings shaken up a bit. There you see young Darren as he is favoring his left leg.
Wears a protective shield on her left arm.
He'll just be glad to get this one over with.
Pitcher. Strike call.
With a good opportunity was number 20 for Kecoughtan coming in on the play and unable to score as Seward was attacking, and good stop by the goaltender.
3-1 to Blake Routon. On deck, Amy O'Brien.
And that's the game.
And the whistle sounds to signal the end of the soccer game as the outman Bethel Bruins are defeated by Kecoughtan. The final score 9-0 as Sean Holleran had 3 goals, as did Jeremy Scarrett for Kecoughtan. Ed Ramey had 2. Chris Blaylock had 1 for the Kecoughtan Warriors. So, Bob, your final comments.
Well, it was a game that we kind of expected was going to turn out this way. Kecoughtan has been unscored upon, and Bethel coming in here short man, so you thought it was going to be a kind of an easy victory for Kecoughtan, but you didn't think it was going to be quite as big a rout as you had. But Kecoughtan could run in fresh players, and Coach Lindsay did a good job, and our hats off to both coaches. Good job out there.
All right, the final score again, the Kecoughtan Warriors 9, the Bethel Bruins no score. For Bob Hintz and the entire crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.